Welcome to lesson 14. In this lesson, we're going to multiply monomials, those one terms, or multiply monomials by polynomials. So that's what you're going to see. We want to make sure that we can actually accurately multiply two monomials, making sure you get the correct answer, and that you can multiply a monomial by any polynomial accurately. So that's our big word for today, accuracy, because it matters. All right, we're going to start with two monomials. Here we have 7, let me write it out, 7x squared y to the 5th times 2x y to the 3rd. So I'm going to expand this out so you can see what's actually happening. So I have 7 times x squared times y to the 5th times 2 times x times y to the 3rd. So this is everything spaced out, and if you remember our associative multiplicative property, I can move things around into the order because they're all being multiplied anyway. So think of this kind of like your like terms. I always start off by looking at our whole numbers first, and that means we're going to multiply these two numbers. 7 times 2, and that gives us 14. And now you're going to search, and we're going to look for our variables. And here we have x. And remember, when we multiply exponents, you're just adding them together. So x squared plus x is just x to the 3rd. Let me take a step back. If you're not sure why, here's x squared, here's x. Expand it out. X squared just means x times x, and it's just going to be times another x. So that's why it feels like you're just adding them together. So you can see it expanded, and in this compact form, you're literally just adding the degrees of the exponents. And so we're going to do the same thing with our y's. So this is a 5th degree, this is a 3rd degree, so when you multiply them together, you have an 8th degree. And there's your final answer. We have 14x to the 3rd power y to the 8th. All right, so hit pause so you can jot this down. And just remember, you're only multiplying the numbers together and the variables that are the same together. So you can actually see them. This is all we did. We multiplied these together, and we multiplied the x's together, and then we multiplied the y's together. But I like really spacing it out. All right, let's look at another example. Here we have a monomial times a polynomial. So I'm actually going to, I want to show you this in two different ways. Let's look at this in two ways. The first one is I want to just distribute. And for the sake of clarity, I want to be real nice and visual. I want to expand this so you can actually see what's being multiplied together. So 3ab times 2a to the 4th. So it's kind of like a monomial times a monomial, plus 3ab times 4ab to the 2nd, plus, wow, I need a lot of space for this one, (3ab times -6). All right, let me put that line back in because I think you might like the second one pretty well. Okay, so now again, you're doing those same things. Like remember, numbers first, multiply them together for this first part over here. I'm starting here. 3 times 2 is 6. A to the 1st times a to the 4th is a to the 5th. B. Done. Do the second one. 3 times 4 is 12. A times a is just a to the 2nd, and b times b to the 2nd is b to the 3rd. That's it. And the last one, 3 times -6 is -18. There is no a, there is no b, so it stays. So for our final step, let's just make sure that we have everything in standard form. A to the 5th plus 1, so this is a 6th degree. This one is a 5th degree. 2 plus 3 is 5, and the second one is to a 2nd degree. So this is correct. It is in standard form. And you can jot this one down into your notes. Okay, so some people can literally just look at it and they'll multiply across, they'll multiply each part, and you can do that. So here I just wanted to expand it out so everyone can see it. Now I'll show it to you as if I didn't do that. So 3ab times 2a to the 4th plus 4ab squared minus 6. And literally it's still the same math. 3 times 2 is 6. So 6 a to the 5th b plus 3 times 4 is 12. A to the 2nd, b to the 3rd. And negative 6 times 3 is negative 18 ab. So here you go, nice and sweet. It's more compacted, and once you're able to really do a lot of this very fluently in your head, this is what your work is more likely going to look like. But I wanted to expand out so you can see that literally I'm just multiplying one term times another term. So hit pause, jot this down into your notes. All right, let's start with the next two examples in the guided practice. And again, I'm just distributing. So I'm starting with my whole numbers first. 4 times 9 is 36. Now I'm starting with the k's. There are no k's in here, so I'm just going to put k to the 2nd. And now the d's. So again, 5 plus 3 is 8, so d to the 8th. And the j, let's put that in there too, j to the 2nd power. So here we go, we have our answer. And it doesn't matter if I wanted to arrange my exponents in order from greatest to least. It shouldn't. I know it looks a little different, but it's still, they're all being multiplied together. All right, so let's look at the next one. And here again, we have all these terms. So 3ab, 2a squared b, that's the first term. Here's our second term. Here's our third term. All right, so I'm going to start with these here. 2 times 3 is 6. And again, I'm adding my exponents. 1 plus 2 is 3. If that really bothers you, you could just put a little 1 next to the ones you don't see if you really need to in the beginning. But eventually, just understand if you don't see one, it's just a 1. And b times b is b squared. Okay, let's go to the next term. Same thing, 3 times 6 is 18. A squared, b third. And let's do our third term. 3 times 8 is 24. There are no other a's, but there's a b squared. All right, now look to see, can you combine any like terms? Now, this is where it can get a little tricky. And the answer is no, because here I have a to the 3rd and here I have a to the 2nd. So I cannot add these together because they are not the same. A to the 3rd, a to the 2nd, b to the 2nd, b to the 3rd. So I can't add those together, and I can't add these. So these have to be the way they are. And so just check to make sure that they are written in standard form. So it's a 5th degree. This is a 5th degree. And here's a 3rd degree. So yes, I can leave my answer like this. All right, and that's it. Now we know how to multiply monomials or polynomials together. Remember, if you have two monomials, to do it accurately, you're distributing, but you're still just doing one term at a time. So you can either do it in this compact form, or if you really need to, you can just separate each term. If this helps you to just do one term at a time, then do that. Do whatever's going to help you become most accurate, because that is the key, not speed. That's it for today's lesson. I'll see you in the next one. Be well, Math Marbles.